And Johnson & Wales University comes in and does a demo within those 2 weeks. And I remember like looking at what they were doing and I was mesmerized. And the rest of the class was like talking and fooling around. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is magic.
What do you mean by a demo? It's a cooking school that came into the high school?
Yes.
To show what you could learn with them.
Well, no, they came and I'm sorry, that's like a cooking term, a demo, a demonstration. So they came in and in a counter there in the cooking class, because the cooking class was set up like a professional kitchen. So they came in and took over one of the stations and they made this brioche stuffed French toast. I still remember cream cheese, strawberry, and it had like cornflakes on the outside. And to me, it was alchemy. I was like, how did they take 2 average slices of bread, cream cheese, average ingredients, and made this beautiful dish that was drool worthy? And right there, I called that the lightning strike because it changed my path forever.
How old were you back then?
I was 16 years old.
Now, how in the world do you write a cookbook? Like, how old were you when you wrote the first cookbook?
Oh, I was 18.
18?
Yes, I was 18 years old.
But it takes a certain amount of discipline and drive to say, I'm 18 years old and I'm going to write a cookbook.
Yes.
How did that happen?
So when that moment of the lightning strike happened, I was on Florida Prepaid College. I was already doing English AP classes. I was on that track to have a state school scholarship in English and journalism. So when I switched and I wanted to go to this culinary school, that's very expensive, like very. You can go to medical school for that amount of money. Wow. But, and those credits or that money doesn't transfer. State school to private school does not work out. So I had to earn money for college. So how did I do that? I had to compete. I had to do culinary competitions. And so I started winning these competitions. Really funny because one by one, and each one I was super surprised that I was winning. And at that time, do you remember molecular gastronomy, like hitting the scene, like the smoke and the powders and the science with food?
You would mostly leave hungry from any restaurant that did that.
Yeah, well, all my co-competitors, that's what they were doing.
Okay.
And this was the peak of Ferran Adria, and Chef's Table had just come out, so that was all the rage. But I was cooking for what I fundamentally believe that people eat. What they crave, what they spend all day daydreaming about, like making those dinner plans or even if it's coming back to your grandmother's kitchen, whatever it is, but it's that craveable, that bliss point, homey, like something that's satisfying.
Okay.
So I was cooking like that. And that's all I ever knew. That's the only way I knew how to cook. And that the only way I connected food in my brain. That's what I wanted to create for other people. Mm-hmm. So as I was winning these competitions, one judge comes up to me, and this was already towards the tail end of my competing run. And he goes, you need to make a cookbook of a collection of all these recipes, and you need to call it Maximum Flavor because that's how you're winning. It's based on flavor, and this is Maximum Flavor. So for me, I was like, this is me. I love this. I had no idea how to write a book. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, so what do I do? Where do I go?
No ChatGPT?
No, nothing. Back then, this is like 2005 or so. You're not 2003. Mm-hmm. You are not going to Google to look up also, how do I write a cookbook? So I wrote down my recipes the right way. I did my own photography. My boyfriend, which is now my husband, did the cover. We went to Key Biscayne and did a whole cookout in Key Biscayne, and that was the cover of the book.
No way.
That's so funny. Yes.
That picture I've seen, which is the cover of the book, that's you guys. It's
that's it. Yeah.
No with production, no nothing.
No, my dad's camera. I'm like, oh gosh, this is terrible.
Wow.
Oh yeah. But Montel Williams, which was a TV host way back in that time, mm-hmm. He was Oprah's daytime competitor. They call me one day to the house because at that point, people still used phones. There was not cell phones.
Home phones,
which is my parents' house. And I get a call from a producer and it's like, hey, we're the production team for Montel Williams and we'd like to fly you out to his farewell show. He's retiring and this is his last show and he's celebrating the youngest people in each category. And apparently you are the youngest cookbook author in America in present day.
And you didn't know this?
I didn't know this.
Wow.
So I think that's my best friend, Danny, pranking me. So I hang up the phone 3 times on the producers.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, I hung up the phone and they were like, "Ma'am, this is the last chance. If you don't want to be flown out next week to New York, it's okay, but we just need a formal no." And I'm like, "Oh wait, hold on, it's not Danny." And I'm like, "Yes, I'm going." So at that point, me and my family were out there in New York City. First experience in like, somebody flies you out there, hotel, car rides, and then you're in a live audience.
Wow.
Oh yeah.